felt it would give us the best access to the strongest possible group of senior insurance decision makers.
Insurtech Insights is a must-do conference, I think, for the network that is built here.
I'm really excited to be here, and especially this session, to be having it here. And so I'm Sean. That fascinating, beautiful creature that you see there is me, and I'm holding an owl. And our company is called Owl, and our focus is, you know, I've always said that the future is not all about artificial intelligence. It's really about augmented intelligence, and it's really about collaboration, not so much competition. And if there's only one man on Earth that gets this better than anyone, it would be Mr. Kasparov, which I would be introducing to the stage in a moment. But you know, as a way of intro, not that he needs an intro, he was the youngest ever chess master, I believe at age 22, and he held that title for an unbelievable 20 years. And in 1997, you know, the world, Mr. Kasparov himself, he, you know, as he is regarded as one of the best chess players in history, he was defeated by IBM's Deep Blue, as we all know, but it wasn't just about chess, as you can appreciate. It was a moment in where there was a tension between man and machine, and one that symbolized the dawn of AI at an early date. And we'll dig into all of these, and I'm really excited to hear his perspective. And you know, I'd love to introduce Mr. Kasparov to the stage. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. We're really excited. And so we have a time, so I'll try to run through these, but you know, I'll probably double click on a few questions. But going back to 1997, the game with Deep Blue, you know, many saw it as a victory for machines. And I'm just wondering, how did you view it back then? And how has your view evolved over time in the last 30 years?
It's not surprising that, you know, my every appearance on stage at the AI conference is connected to 1997 event. But I have to remind people that it was a rematch because I won the first one in 1996. It's just, yeah. You know, it's going back to 1997, I thought it was a curse that would stay with me for the rest of my life. So it's like, you know, the indelible stain on my chess biography. And by the way, it was painful not because I lost to a machine. It was the first match I lost, period. So I was undefeated for 12 years. But later, just I realized that, you know, it was probably, I was lucky being part of a very important scientific experiment. Today, I think it was a blessing because, you know, I have moral rights, you know, and credibility to talk about human-machine, not competition, but collaboration. Yep. Since I was the first knowledge worker who had his job threatened by a machine, and on a global scale. So now regarding this, it's the event being trumpeted as the dawn of AI. Okay. Thank you very much for saying it's augmented intelligence, because I think it's far better describing the relations between humans and machines, because artificial sounds, it's not exact, you know, just the description of this cooperation, but also it's scary. It frightens people. And one of the problems we have to face is that a lot of people, especially the general public, they are paralyzed by this fear. AI, you know, the Terminator, Matrix. So my message is that, look, it's not, you know, it's not a magic wand, but it's not the Terminator. It's not a harbinger of utopia or dystopia. You know, it doesn't offer you a free ticket to heaven, but it doesn't open the gates of hell. It's a tool, just for sake, you know, it's just, of the argument. Machines made us stronger in the past, made us faster in the past. So why not, considering that intelligent machines will make us smarter? Of course, it's you know, it's a sacred area. It's our cognitive it's cognitive process. So, but let's be very objective. And again, going back to 1997, there's one thing we should remember. I mean, Deep Blue was not intelligent, period, and it didn't have to be intelligent. Because this is what machines did in chess, in Go, in everywhere, in Texas Hold'em poker, what they do elsewhere, driverless cars. Machines make fewer mistakes. You can solve chess mathematically. According to one of the founding fathers of computer science, Claude Shannon, the number of legal moves in the game of chess has 46 zeros, long line of zeros. So no machine can calculate all the options until the end of time unknown universe. It doesn't have to. It's all about making fewer mistakes.
Right.
And the moment we accept it, we have totally different, view of human-machine collaboration. Back in '97, I think I was a better player. And IBM made a very good choice, but not, accepting my offer for a rubber match.
Right.
So the rematch, because I won the first one, lost the second one, because they knew it probably would not make any sense business-wise. So
right.
the IBM shares rose 22% in 12 days. So yeah, so some of people from my team said my biggest mistake was not to lose the match, but not to ask the options. Yeah. Then probably, if I did, probably I would be accused of losing on purpose. God knows.
Yeah.
So I knew that the competition would be over, and that's very important because when we look at human-machine collaboration, so it's in every walk of life. So you start with machines doing something, and it looks it's just a toy. Then the second stage, they can do it, like just in chess we had this period in the 70s, 80s, but it's still not phenomenal.
Yeah.
Then you have the third stage, which is it's the shortest one, in the history timeline, but the most exciting when it could be a competition.
Right.
And then machines are just much better ever after. So this is from 1990 to 2005, there was kind of period of competition.
Yeah.
And I realized that while I still could beat Deep Blue, and I played 2 more matches with powerful engines, one German, one Israeli back in 2003, or both ended as a tie. But I knew that we had already writing on the wall. The end is coming. So instead of competing, we had to start, considering collaborating. So that's why in 1998 I came up with an idea of advanced chess, human plus machine versus another human plus machine. So how to combine human plus machine, very opposite qualities, to come up with the most effective decision-making tool. And chess proved to be a very effective field of experiment. So they're like, just playing field, where you can start practicing these things. And what we discovered, and that's actually led to what some people call Kasparov laws. So I simply analyzed the data from many chess events, mostly online. So that's in the combination of human plus machine. The key is not of success. The key is not strongest chess player, this human talent, or fastest machine. But it's a synergy, it's a process, superior process. So a weaker player with a slower machine could actually beat stronger player with a faster computer if he or she, or a group of people, could actually have the best collaboration. Because at the end of the day, decision making is 100%. Cannot reach 100% anywhere in the universe. But it's how to bring humans' contribution to the machine's superior knowledge, which is probably 95, 96% on the field, and to make sure you push it as close as possible to 100%. So that's again, in essence, this is the collaboration that I believe, it will shape any walk of life and any business.
Yeah. So that's what you've coined, the Kasparov's law. We were talking backstage. I was saying, everyone's taking pictures with him, and he said there's another law that's, it's never the last question and it's never the last picture.
Yeah.
Which should be Kasparov number 2. But just making that leap, the collaboration that you discussed, to make it real, can you share how you've seen maybe a business or organization or an industry apply it accordingly?
Look, I don't think that there's a universal application, because in various industries, it could have different effects. Again, you should remember that it cannot solve all your problems. And one fundamental thing is you have to also add a human contribution. Again, it could be small. Actually, it is relatively small. But as long as you understand that we belong to last few decimal places, we are okay. So basically, if you want to have a very simple, like a visual explanation, is that, let's say, imagine you have a very powerful rifle that can shoot 2 miles from here with good accuracy. Right. All you can do is basically to tweak a bullet in the barrel by probably 0.1 millimeter. But 2 miles from the place you shot, it will be probably, I don't know, just it's 10 feet, maybe 20 feet. So that's exactly what you should do. Recognizing that we should not interfere with the process, but every machine has a specific problem that could help us with the problem we're dealing with. So speaking about insurance, for instance, I think that one of the fundamental challenges that the industry can face is that it's because it's so much built on uncertainty. So for instance, if you have driverless cars,
Right.
so and the driverless cars have programs for every potential accident. So all of a sudden, many of the situations on the road, they could be actually pre-programmed.
Right.
Because if a machine has a priority of saving the driver, you can you can predict the outcome.
Right,
So
yes.
so you have basically to adjust. Because
Right.
it's no longer just this uncertainty. God knows what he or she will do while driving and facing the impossible choice. With machine, you know it in advance.
Right.
So again, you have to just start recognizing that machines could start altering your business, and sooner you recognize it, and sooner you have the human component of basically tweaking your business to make sure that it fits like a glove of these new realities, you will just be ahead of the competition.
Yeah. Now, reading when I was reading your book, Deep Thinking, highly recommend everyone. So we're at the forefronts of AI, and I think you wrote that book in 2017.
Yeah.
It's still highly applicable, and really enjoyed reading it. But one thing that stood out to me in that book is that you mentioned, during that whole experience with Deep Blue, you had the decision to maybe not have a rematch, or just not get involved. But you made a choice, as you were mentioning right now, to really get involved. And I think, if we look at this room, we have a lot of insurance executives who may be at those crossroads, similar crossroads in different ways, where they are at a point where they can make a decision, and the level of involvement with some of this rapid evolution of AI methodologies. So what suggestion, recommendations, or comments do you have?
Thank you for mentioning the book. Yes, but it has subtitle, Deep Thinking, where machine intelligence ends and human creativity begins.
Right.
So this is very important. Human creativity key. So again, we have certain qualities. Our qualities, very human, that are, I believe, indispensable. And we just have to realize that many jobs, that's being, traditionally, admired or just coveted, they are facing the AI competition. They may just be lost. So again, I don't want to sound callous, but technology, if we look at history, always, just had a negative effect on industries, but by destroying some industries, it created new industries, or just changes within industries. So we shifted from agricultural society to manufacturing, now just to services. And again, it's a natural process.
Right.
So, and it's very important to recognize that, again, this machine is potentially it could bring you some challenges, but there's, again, there are always limitations where human contribution could play a crucial role. So then, if you look at every job report, so I saw this 10 years ago from McKinsey and others, many jobs, they are just, they use very little of human creativity. Because 20, 30 years ago, one of the best compliments was he or she worked like a machine. And today is a curse. Because if you work like a machine, your job is dead. It's like I call zombie jobs.
Right.
They're dead, they just don't know they're dead yet. So,
Right.
and they walk around, but they're just dead. So
Right.
it's about actually recognizing that it's things changing and move, but there's plenty of room. So it's one of the problems, of course, it's education, because the education system is still based on assumption that we have the job market that is not stable, but it's changing slowly. I mean,
Right.
look, so many great jobs today never existed 15 years ago. So do you expect that in 10, 15 years we'll have many new jobs? So it's about basically just recognizing that the pace of change is so fast, and get adjusted. It's not win-win-win-win-win situation.
Right.
But the moment we understand we work from the perspective of humanity, like 8 billion people, there are always benefits.
Right.
It's tough. I mean, but it's a free market. So as long as you, again, understand these new rules and you are dynamic, and you remember that there's always a human component. Because, we all look at the same screen. I mean, it's just the times where you can actually get business advantage by having access to unique information, they're gone.
Right.
Yeah, in some tradings, you can probably have an advantage of being 1 second ahead. But typically, in big business, it's about recognizing where you should stop receiving information from the screen and making human decisions. So basically, the moment where the human factor becomes a factor.
Right.
So it's no universal rules. It's all about your intuition. So intuition. And when people say creativity will be eventually copied by the machine, I'm not so sure. Actually, I'm sure about the opposite for a very simple reason. Human creativity is something that includes the notion of failure. When you start creating, you don't know. You may succeed, you may fail. Failure doesn't belong to the machine's domain. So it always looks for best return. So that's why the idea of failure is just, it's so alien to quote machine psychology. So that's why, again, remember that the human component becomes more and more important, because access to computing power, it's almost the same. Right. And it's quite amazing. We have so much computing power in our hands, and we're complaining about it.
Right.
Just imagine this: 50 years ago, you can just, you have time machine. You travel back to 1975, and probably cell phone could be also just quite a shock for a person there. But you say, within this device, in 50 years, we can have, almost all the data ever created by humanity. And what we will do is basically sending the pictures of our pets and arguing with each other. Yeah. So okay, fine. Imagine the response. So just with this immense power, all we need is just it's a little bit of just human creativity.
Right.
It's just to make this unique synergy.
Right.
Again, its components are there.
How would you framework? So the human factor. Let's talk about the intuition. Obviously, it's very important to the decision-making process. But how would you categorize it? How do you apply it correctly in today's age?
As you know, I'm sure that everybody's using ChatGPT, and this is one of the funniest things is how you can just play a game with that by simply tweaking the questions, and you can easily influence an answer by a little tweak. Just doing it, and of course we have every week, if not every day, we have just a new discovery where just ChatGPT just couldn't deal with normal facts of life. So again, it's for us to remember, and I always like the old quote from Pablo Picasso, who just said machines useless because they can only give us answers. Now, I don't think he had any idea about computers, but as the creator, great artist, he knew that questions are a beginning. So it's very important that we have to come up with the right questions.
Right.
Again, you have this massive power. So how you slight tweaks, just little change. Again, opportunities are endless. And when people just complain about the potential risk of just AI, it's just interfering with our lives, or just even threatening our very existence. I mean, I tell them that humans still have monopoly for evil. The problem is not, just it's in the Terminator or Skynet. I never understood why Skynet wanted to kill people. The movie definitely failed to convince me that the threat was real. But we have so many bad actors. So it's about, again, humans. Because at the end of the day, there's always, it's the very bottom of any machine's decision. You'll find, I was told so.
Right.
Human is because I wanted it. So it's, again, machines have their limitations, but remember that this is within these special frameworks, machines will always dominate. The key is, how to control the framework and how to control the shift of information from one closed system to another.
Yeah.
This is the biggest human's advantage. So it's the machines are so bad, even the best of them, to transfer the one information from closed system to another, even if the systems are similar. Like you have this in the video games. You have the very similar maps, not the same, with the similar characters.
Right.
But it has to start from scratch.
Yeah.
Well, human can instantly make the transition. So.
Right. Yes. you've often said that we as in humans should always be in charge. I'm wondering, how would you say, like, what do you mean by in charge at a time where machines are increasingly making decisions?
No, machines making decisions because we want them to make decisions. So again, remember that our contribution is limited, but it's indispensable. Look, there's so many things that, that's where machines decision making is vital. I mean, for instance, autopilots. Do you want to go back to the human pilots, just in the mid-flight? No. So there are many things where just machines' contributions is absolutely vital, and it improves our lives. I mean, again, it's just recognizing that there's still the direction is still for us to choose.
Right.
Yeah. Again, direction. It may not be just 90 degrees, but they said it's even half of a degree.
Right.
That's could have a massive effect.
Right.
Because this is like a massive energy. Imagine you have a tsunami and you can just decide which way it goes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The correct protocols and control. Fully agree. If you were, let's say the people in the audience. So let's take chess for example. What would
chess, for example? Okay.
What do you think every person here could learn from your background in chess that would be applicable as they're thinking about all their leadership strategies in an AI world?
Look, I know that chess had kind of some of magic image, that's succeeded, just surviving generation from generation, going back to the days where the founder of IQ test, Alfred Binet, thought that the understanding how the mind of the chess players worked could offer you a key to the universe of cognition. My answer is very flattering. The aptitude for playing chess is nothing else than aptitude for playing chess. So I have to confess. But I can suggest, you look for just my earlier book, How Life Imitated Chess, because what you can learn, and that's what I learned just from analyzing my own performances, is that it's about the whole process of decision making. So one of the important lessons is that's I believe is very often overlooked is that the decision making components, they're very similar. Whether a decision is made about some routine issues like you prepare the birthday party, or decisions made just on the top of the government about war and peace, because we all go through the similar processes, and understanding how the process works for you, that's a key. Because this is with machines, we can make predictions how it may go, but with humans, you have to look deep inside and understand your natural strengths and weaknesses, being very, brutally honest with you. So I know with my strengths, and I'm sure I want to play with my strengths, but I also have to recognize certain weaknesses. And the decision-making process is as unique as DNA or fingerprints. So if somebody's just giving you an advice, you should become more aggressive or less, or less aggressive, that's nonsense, because it doesn't work. If we got, forbid, feel, unwell, so we got sick. So before you get some medicine, so you have to go through the tests. And something that may work for you could be very bad for me. Right. So same as with decision making. Is understanding your nature as a decision maker. And by the way, nothing wrong with being conservative in your estimations or being an aggressive. It's all about how you can apply your strengths while covering your weaknesses for the decision making process.
Yeah, makes sense. I know we're at time. I would love to.
I would play a game of chess. Just you have to look at the clock.
At Blitz chess.
Yeah, Blitz. Okay, very Blitz chess. Okay, yes,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, really appreciate your time.
No Blitz.
Yeah, I wish we could go for hours, but I think I speak on behalf of everyone. Really appreciate you taking the time to join us today. Really recommend everyone to read up on the book. Again, it's highly applicable today.
Yeah, but again, and just don't get panicked, don't get overjoyed. So again, we're dealing with the tech. We're still in charge as long as we mentally accept it. So and not being paralyzed by the Hollywood brainwashing production. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.